Hey, welcome back, guys. Power Book 2's 7th episode got off to a wild start and will surely usher us into a crazy finish with just 3 episodes remaining. This installment dealt with the idea of the powerful making decisions for the powerless and the potential backlash and shrapnel that the latter could face as a result. I'm here to break it all down in typical Top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things power. Here we go. WTF moment number 10, no loose ends. Lorenzo and Drew secretly pull up on Keno, who we just saw at Lorenzo's welcome home soiree last episode. Keno's decision to run his own operation, as opposed to continuing his business with Lorenzo, marked him for death in the latter's eyes, and we witnessed the execution of such in the beginning of this one. Keno gets in what would be his final cheek claps before Lorenzo and Drew barge in, and the younger Tejada administers the kill shot. Following a brief exchange with the innocent witness, Lorenzo claims her life as well. He justifies the ice-cold maneuver in the name of protecting his son's well-being and freedom, something a loose end jeopardizes to the fullest. WTF moment number 9, blackface. Tariq finally procures that photo album from Braden and uncovers some major dirt on Tate's political rival Sweeney, the latter congressman dressed up in blackface, a socio-political no-no if you understand its dark and disrespectful history. The only problem in his findings is that it could potentially implicate Braden's father if exposed to the public. Reek attempts to appeal to Tate following his tense exchange with his right hand, but to no avail. Tate goes full O-dog on our boy, stressing the importance of getting him what he requires, or else. WTF moment number 8, a bad bitch's revenge. Davis meets with Paula to confirm Tariq's alibi, who he hadn't seen since their blow-up in court at the tail end of last season. She confirms that she did indeed meet with Tariq, but the circumstances could further incriminate our series lead. Davis then offers Paula a drink, accompanied by a half-hearted, ego-driven apology, essentially absolving himself of all accountability. Paula returns his half-ass apology with a weak smile and proceeds to spill the drink all over his expensive, however many thousand-some-odd dollar shoes. Embarrassed, humiliated, yet never abandoning his player, Davis simply takes his drink to the head and states, "That's a bad bitch right there." Something we could all agree on. WTF moment number 7, the Book of Ezekiel. Zeke is approached by Mecca while shooting baskets in the park. Mecca introduces the many correlations between his son and himself before revealing his true relationship to him through the significance of his name and corresponding tattoo. This occurrence freaks Zeke all the way out, as much of his family's true history is shrouded by mystery. Mecca's play here was just one of the many examples of an action responding to a forced hand dynamic. WTF moment number 6, a threat and a promise. Tate finesses his way into Jabari's memorial dinner and approaches Braden's father with a forewarning. There's a photo about to hit the press involving Rick Sweeney, and it could blow back on you. He then offers the Weston patriarch a chance to evade the pending humiliation if he can convince Sweeney to step down rather than the scandal forcing him out. Weston rebuffs Tate's blackmail attempt, apparently only finding blackface feasible. Let Tate tell it. WTF moment number 5, Judgment Day. Carrie attempts to give Jabari a final send-off in the spirit of respect. However, her own respectability is challenged by the myriad of attendees discussing her sins fervently, causing her so much humiliation in real time that she's unable to properly give the long-awaited speech. This certainly brought glee to a rapid power fan base, who's quite frankly been done with Carrie and her shit all season long. But in the words of Tate, the story's never over, so we'll see how this affects her in the final 3 episodes. WTF moment number 4, my brother's keeper. Cain allows the spirit of jealousy to fully consume him in dealing with his younger, softer-spoken brother, Drew. Cain disrespectfully interrupts Drew's television time, turning the Legends of Chamberlain Heights off at that. Drew checks his brother's disrespect and hits a nerve when he takes a swipe at his intellect and newly formed guard dog status to Mecca. Kane then attacks Drew's lover, Everett, which results in a physical confrontation that only Lorenzo could squash. WTF moment number 3, almost dead. Drew, taking heed to his father's words and brother's potential actions, attempts to attack Everett. However, with gun in hand and the bases loaded, Drew gets a loving text from his boy, stopping him dead in his tracks. This moment harkens us back to Monet's warning to Lorenzo. Drew's gonna have to choose between his heart and his family. Make sure he's making the right decision. Those conflictions and his final decision regarding them will be the linchpin that pushes him further over the cliff of savagery. WTF moment number 2, tell your mother I said hello. Davis gets in his car in a desolate lot, only to be unpleasantly surprised by Kane at gunpoint. Kane threatens McLean that his name better not come up at Tariq's trial, and that the only benefactor of the state's justice better be Tariq and Tariq alone. Davis talks his way out of the impromptu date with the bullet, ensuring that Kane and Tariq have mutual interests, and their only saving grace is himself. Then, he calls out the elder Tejada by name and sends his regards to Monet. And WTF moment number 1, deal denied. Tamika returns and gets Tariq a deal in order to avoid trial and missing out on the remainder of his young life due to potential prison time. Reek weighs his options and the many implications his decision will have on his life and his family's. When finally approached by all parties involved, including Tamika, Sax, and Jenny, Reek decides to not go through with snitching for a lighter sentence, deeming it ghost-like in nature, someone whose shadow he's trying to escape, and failing miserably at, might I add. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. The title of this episode was Forced My Hand, and its theme had implications for just about all of our characters. However, none of this would be possible without Tariq's original sin, which grew out of a forced hand situation to begin with in the murder of his third victim and professor, Jabari Reynolds. The stakes feel extremely real for Tariq for the first time in a long time. He just might go down for this murder fiasco the way things are playing out. He'll absolutely require Davis's services to avoid certain prosecution, and McLean's declaration to Carrie in the ending that Tariq will go free no matter what he has to pull out of his arsenal is really the only saving grace we have for our boy. Next episode will definitely be a defining one for the season, no doubt. Everett might finally be out of here with Lorenzo's cryptic warning to Drew following his quarrel with Kane. We can't have no loose ends. Renzo already displayed his position on lingering dangers, and Kane, feeling detached and condemned by his father, could possibly harm Everett in an attempt to regain his father's favor and trust. Such an occurrence would forever split the Tejada children, and that's saying something given their already fragile state. The scene with Yasmin lying to protect Tariq's interest was a tough one to digest. It, like many of her segments this season, served to paint the consequence picture in full for the audience, and Tariq in the grand scheme of things. Remember, the lives of the St. Patrick parents resulted in the turmoil experienced by the St. Patrick family. Yaz potentially being allowed to lie for Tariq on the stand would have played into that same continuum, only serving to destroy their family legacy further, if that's at all possible given their current situation. And lastly, speaking of familial deceptions, Monet's decision to continue lying to Zeke following the Mecca reveal will only push him away from her once the truth is finally out. This web of deception isn't going to end well for all parties once Monet finally decides to tell all, and the pain such a revelation will cause to her firstborn might be irreparable, further destroying his chances at flourishing in the league due to the mental weight of it all. And that'll do it for this one. What were your thoughts on Force My Hand? Be sure to drop them below in the comments. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power Ghost fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.
Rudy beat that beat with a bad.